There we go. Well, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the channel and the stream. This is Books Nelson from the At Me Bro Show with a deep dive, full breakdown of Pink Diamond Rudy Gay. And you'll see right there in the title, I said I can't believe they gave him this. That is not quick clickbait because as a 6'8", sharpshooting, gigantic player model character, I'm surprised that this card can do some of the things he can do. So, you see I have my shot meter turned off. I just wanted to get a good look at his release windows. Rudy Gay has one of the best jumpers in the game. He pretty much has for as long as I can recall. And he's a green machine. So we don't, I mean, he's famous for being a green machine, so we don't really need to get into his shot too much. You see he has the hot zones everywhere. He has the ratings to back it up. But let's look at those ratings just so we're all refreshed on what's up if you guys haven't gotten a chance to look at those videos. So you see here is a 99 mid-range shot. So anything he gets going in the mid-range, it's going to be fantastic for him. A 94.3, that is coach boosted. I wonder if he's getting that coach boost at power forward. I'm not sure. He has a primary power forward, which, as some people have been saying recently, is to bring the stats down so that when you don't give him crazy strength and rebounding, he doesn't register as a Galaxy Opal. I think there's some wisdom in that thinking. I'm inclined to agree. With his 99 driving layup, 99 driving dunk, 85 standing dunk, I'm of the belief that if they 89 ball handle, that if they release this card exactly as it is, but it simply was a Galaxy Opal, he would, like, literally nothing about it changed except for the card art that said Galaxy Opal, he would cost 200,000 MT more. As it is, I picked him up for 40k MT. So I think 41 on a dot, maybe, if that much. So you see he has a, so this card is special at this position, a 6'8", for a couple of reasons. We're going to get to them from an animation perspective in a second, but you see he has a 90 post moves, an 88 post hook, a 92 post fade. A lot of these cards are not super strong when it comes to the post game, but Rudy, and when I say these cards, I mean 86 ball handle, 94.3, you know, all that stuff. A lot of, like, your Paul Pierce is a good post-up character, but a lot of the other ones aren't good post-up characters. He is a phenomenal post-up character, very high post moves, and I would imagine if you, and you see very high rebounding too, 92 defensive rebounding, 84 offensive rebound. So I think unlike some of his counterparts, you might be able to play this card at the power forward spot. It has him listed as 6'8", but it just seems like he has a really, really big character model. And if I have a 6'8" character on this roster, maybe we can get a look at that and confirm it visually. But before we get into that, we see the interior defense is a very respectable 83. That's not going to stop the likes of Chris Webber and so on and so forth, but it'll definitely allow him to hold his own against most threes and several fours who either are smaller or they're bigger, but they don't specialize in the post-up. So he won't be bullied by people who have no business posting up. You see the 80 block, 90 steal, excellent. 79 shot contest, which is good, but not great. 93 lateral quickness. This guy is a monster. He is a monster. It's so crazy that, and so the 79 strength. So again, it's not great, but it's not terrible. It's right in that area where it's definitely borderline and matchup dependent about whether or not you could play him at the 4. I personally would probably rather him than Durant at the 4 because he has that extra bit of rebounding. I don't remember Durant's interior defense and stuff, but both of them are iffy. I think he slides to the 4 a little better than KD, if that's the way you're trying to run this card. But so in fact, while we're here, let's go ahead and look at that. I didn't look at the badges. I mean, everything's juiced. Let's look at it real quick, just so we're thorough here. So really, we want to go to those defensive badges because that's the important thing. Offensive badge. You said you feel like Twan is better than this card. Yeah, I definitely don't agree with that, but I will have Twan fully evoed shortly so that we can get a good look at it. But so let's see what he's doing here. So he's got Hall of Fame chase down, which for a card with his speed, his length, his attributes is a phenomenal defensive badge. He can come in from the corner and stop somebody from getting a dunk or a layup. That's going to be huge for him in particular. Usually that badge is either on faster cards or taller cards. He is tall and fast. That's going to be huge. Hall of Fame clamps, outstanding. He's got the Intimidator there and the Interceptor, both really, really good. Pick Dodger, for some reason he has Pick Dodger at 6'8". That's going to be great for him. And he's got post-move lockdown. So the post-move lockdown with the tireless defender and his strength and his height. El Rio says Walker's underrated. Not by me. I speak that card's praises a lot, and that's why I still have him in my collection. So yeah, this card has a lot going for it. All right, let's look at the playmaking. So this is really important. He has Hall of Fame quick first step, Hall of Fame space creator, and gold ankle breaker. Remember that we said that, right? So yeah, floor general, bailout, blah blah blah. Everything's good, but those three in particular are very important for this card. So shooting, catch and shoot, Hall of Fame Deadeye, a Hall of Fame difficult shots, which is huge because he has 99 mid-range, right? So this guy is a mid-range go-getter. Like, he's literally elite at the mid-range. You can totally play that card this way. Honestly, this is one of the most versatile cards in the game. Just outstanding. Quick draw, range extender, all that good stuff. Hot zone hunter, and slippery off ball for those plays you're running. I mean, green machine is just ridiculous. And you see Hall of Fame contact, Hall of Fame Lob City, Hall of Fame Slithery. Like, he literally is basically perfect, right? I can't figure out why this card is 40 KMT. So I'm gonna go right to the juice of it. In fact, let's go right to the title of the video and talk about that. So guys, this dude, he can do the killer crossover. For a card of his general abilities, to get the killer crossover is crazy. For him to get it he's so big. Like, to do that, and then he also has the super elite step back. So so he's basically Jimmy Butler, but a better shooter. Maybe slightly bigger character model. Is Jimmy on this team? Let me see. Jimmy also has a fairly big character model. Actually, let's look at Keith Van Horn. Keith Van Horn is listed as 6'10". I just want to look at this card's character model real quick. So you can see the outline right there. Look at that. Like, they look. I think Rudy Gay might be 6'9", man. I think that's I don't know if it's a typo or what, but look at these two cards. This is not an in-game 2-inch difference between these two cards. I have Walker on here too. So let's look at Walker after Van Horn. See, Walker, much smaller. Like, much smaller. I know he bent over, but forget that. In fact, let's see. Let's get him straight up and down, right? So let's substitute him directly for Rudy and see if we can see a size difference, because that's important, man. Those dimensions are important. All right, let's look at it. Let's see if he grows. Yes, I mean, he grew significantly. This card is so much bigger than 6'8" by Antoine Walker standards. Like, that is crazy. So, like, Lonzo Ball is 6'6". Is this a 2-inch difference? You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that card is 6'9", man. All right, let's keep it moving, because I don't have tons of time and I want to get you guys the info as fast as possible. So he does not have the Pro 3 hesitation, but like Jimmy, because he has the so just to describe the way you would play when you don't have that, right? Because you still want to be able to do your thing on the perimeter to the level of a card that has that. Just because now, you guys know I love the Pro 1 and Pro 3 hesitations. Both of them, you can run that game canceling it around the perimeter. He can't play that way, but that doesn't mean that the card can't do anything. So the thing about this card is he has the elite step back, right? So when you're coming around that perimeter, you still have the several options available to you. And option number 1 is obviously shoot. Now, if you know you're going to shoot, if you plan on shooting, then yeah, you want to do it out of your hesitation. That'll be your fastest method of shooting. But if you are doing a mix-up on the opponent, you can still cancel out of this. It's just not as fast of a cancel, you know? So you get... I didn't do it. I wasn't running fast enough. So when you're going around a perimeter here, and you cancel into this, you can still cancel. You see, that was the cancel window. So you just have to learn the cancel window of tapping left trigger. And he's still going to go up very quickly, and he's still going to go up straight up and down. However, out of this left trigger, from here, from tapping left trigger, you can combo into your step back. Now, that's why I penalize cards that have a bad step back. Because if you have a bad step back and you don't have a Pro 3 hezi, you really don't have a perimeter game except shooting. Like, all you can do is shoot. And if people know you're going to shoot, they can just chase you all the way around. Whereas if you're going to do this and then step back, again, he's got the range extender. So you coming around a perimeter like so, you stop and step back, and you can immediately use the quick first step, that Hall of Fame quick first step, to attack the basket if they take the wrong angle, you know? And then, of course, you can go right to his snatch back, and with his elite mid-range jumper, you don't have to be concerned about what you do after this mix-up right here. So as soon as you come around the perimeter and you do that, you can do whatever you want. And again, with the killer crossover, you're talking about he can do that and then immediately go into his killer crossover move, which is crazy. And again, at his height, like he can, it's crazy. Like this card is actually insane. All right, let's look at his full court dribbles. He actually has a nice little trick in the full court that I really wanted to show you guys. So most of his full court dribbles aren't super phenomenal, right? Like he's got a fairly slow startup with his between the legs. His behind the back has a bit of a startup. It sends him to the side, which is usable, but not great. His crossover is pretty good. It's pretty good. It's not the best crossover. He has a wind up before he does it. Now his hesitation branches are great. He has a great running hesitation. Like it's phenomenal. He bursts out of it really quickly. And at a 6'9", I'm gonna call him 6'9", as Spatial Jones says in the chat. Eastwick baller. But because he has such a fantastic hesitation and he is such a fantastic shooter, he can hesitate into the pull-up, he can hesitate into the drive, and you guys know, if you follow this channel, I can't stress it enough, boom, hit him with that right there. It's the hesitation, hold turbo, left stick crossover, not right stick crossover. This is a right stick crossover where he goes completely to the side. It's not that that's bad. If you do that, if you want to take a three, you know, if somebody's up here and they're playing off you want to go to the side and take this three, then the right stick crossover is what you want to go for. But if you still want to drive to the basket, that left stick crossover is going to give you that angle that you're looking for. And you see him with the ridiculous hop dunk. I cannot figure out why this card is so cheap. This is insane. So here's another nice little trick that Rudy Gay has. So this is a good move we don't talk about a whole lot. That double behind the back. All right, so he's got a nice swift version of that. He automatically continues towards the basket if you do that. So let me do it again real quick. So, you know, just tap down twice right on the right stick, boom, boom. And you see he continues directly into a full stop, which is good on its own. Because you can literally trigger that right here and let him complete it. And he's going to go into a perfect three-point animation, right? So that's great. But here's the other thing. Not only can you still launch out of that if you do it, right? So boom, boom. I did it wrong, even though it's just tapping down on the stick twice. It's so easy a caveman could do it. Let's try that again. Right? So he can launch out of that and keep going. But if you do that slowly, tap, tap. Hold up, that was too quick. If you let the first behind the back continue, you see he continues dribbling. I don't know if you guys caught that. If you do the behind the back once slowly and then again, he like continues dribbling in the same direction. He doesn't come to a complete stop the way he does it if you rapid tap, right? So this is the rapid tap, boom, and you see like a complete stop. But if you do a slow double tap down, he continues into the same direction. That's a very nice full court mix-up. That's outstanding for the card to have. So let's see here. Are you saying Paul George because Paul George is knocking his price down? Yeah, I can understand that, but Paul George can't play the two. So they're just two similar cards. Like I don't get what the big hubbub is over Paul George. And I love Paul George as a card. I took me forever to sell his diamond. I held on to his diamond until the second Kawhi came out or something like that. And I'm sure the Paul George card is great, but this card is great too. All right, so let's look at his regular dribbles real quick. That's his momentum. Excellent momentum. This card has so many good animations. Double momentum, triple momentum. His momentum, because of that step back, his momentum is even better. So when he goes into the momentum, he can go the same way. He can go into the between the legs. He can go into the killer crossover. Quentin Huff, man, I hope everything's all right at home. You know, doing your thing. But I'm definitely not afraid to give you a moment to think about how you're treating the chat right now. If you need a moment to think about it. Anyway, where were we? He can do the behind the back. the momentum behind the back as well. Let's get a quick look at that. As you can see, and he's just got a nice flow with his dribbles too. Like you see, he can do the behind the back like misdirection and stuff. He can momentum into the behind the back, and his is very swift, very quick. I mean, he just really has almost everything. Like if he had the Pro 3 hesitation, the card would be actually perfect. Like seriously, he's got a great jumper. He's got range extender. He's got the mid range. Let's take a quick look at his post moves. And in fact, before we do that, let's see how that Hall of Fame quick first step looks out of the triple threat launch. If he catches the ball in a reasonable place. All right, let me get that ball. Okay, so not as fast as Jimmy's. Still pretty good, obviously. It's still a good move, but it's not as good as Jimmy's version of it. Let's look at it again. Yeah, it's okay. It's not as strong as Jimmy's. Jimmy's is like supernaturally fast for some reason. When he launches out of that. I'm gonna do it one more time and see something. Yeah, see the thing about him though is Jimmy is a good mid-range shooter, but Rudy Gay is an elite mid-range shooter. So when you do moves like that, you can finish these possessions with these shot creator moves. And it's always going to be green. Like if you learn this guy's releasing his game, it's going to be greens all over the place. And you see there that half court between the legs is very strong with him. Now I'm just taking a break, man. I finished the page, so yeah, I got to reset. I got to reset before I get into this next one. So let's see what his post rollouts look like. So that's his post launch. Not the fastest post launch, to be honest with you. It's okay, but you can feel it's just not the fastest. Let's see to the baseline side. Yeah, funny, I don't know why that would be. Because he's got the speed, he's got the ball handling, he's got the speed with the ball. It just shows you that some stuff is just animation based in this game. Because he definitely, I could be crazy, but he feels a little slower than Bam rolling out of the post here. Not that that's a big deal for the card. Because he has so many options in the post. So, speaking of which, let's see. His double hop doesn't connect very well, so I wouldn't say that that's like super viable for him. Yeah, because I did connect it, because you saw he didn't stall dribble. You can connect it. If you connect it perfectly, it's okay. It's solid. It's not as good as Bam's, but it's solid. So that's his double hop. I don't think his double hop is quite fast enough to be a go-to move the way it is with Bam. But his regular hop should be fine anyway. And also, you can do what you can do with Lamar Aldridge, which is post hop right into a step back. And because of his like extremely fantastic, difficult shots and everything, that's a viable move as well with him. You can just literally go right to it and go into the step back, gain an extra little space that's probably going to be wide open. Man, I can't believe they gave him the killer crossover. I could just literally do that all day with this character, man. Like that is insane that a character this tall with the step back has the killer crossover. Let's look at his shooters behind the back. Not sure if he has the best one of those. Yeah, his shooters behind the back is not as good as like a Tony Parker or something like that, or a Steph Curry. Yeah, it's good. It's good. It doesn't always trigger the good one though. Oh, there's the good one. I don't know why he triggers that sometimes and not others. Andrew M asks, how do you do the killer crossover? I have an entire video dedicated to explaining it step by step with Russell Westbrook in the thumbnail. Check that out on this channel. It's a very, very good move. Highly effective in every game mode, both against users and AIs. So I do definitely recommend you put it into your repertoire. All right, let's look at his layup and dunk animations and get up on out of here. So here's his Euro. Super weird. It was more of a cradle than a Euro. Let's see what his right hand Euro looks like. Yeah, he doesn't have the greatest Euro step. Nice regular layup though. He has the Brandon Ingram. Okay. And that's more of a, it's got a little gather on that layup. Let's see what else we can find. Yeah, his layups can have a bit of a dagger on it. Yeah, I see you, Giovanni. Comes with the territory, man. No problem. So his layup package, I would say, is okay. I'm not moved by it because there are some gathers. Now, he has such a high dunk rating, that's not really a super negative. So let's go ahead and look at that dunk package. You see he has the double clutch. It's funny because he dunks as if he can't jump, which is almost a good thing because that makes him harder to block. He still starts his dunks from really far away. So while he's not going to be the most visually impressive dunker, he will be an effective in-game dunker, especially with his height. We're going to look at his hop dunk for a second. I'm trying to see just how far his dunks trigger from. They trigger from a good distance. Yeah. As soon as you cross the three-point line, he can get up there. He's going to be really, really good in the full court. Man, I can't believe this card is so good and he goes for so cheap. Like, he's so good. Like, people thought the Paul Pierce was good, and he is. He's fine. But this Rudy Gay is outstanding. All right. So, let's see the hop dunks. Oh, that's cheeseball. Oh, my goodness. This card's good, man. This card's good. This card is really, really strong. Man. You can hop step from so far away with him. I'm shocked. The community did every... You talk about not being paid to win. Yeah, it's not pay to win when you can get this card for 40K. I mean, you can do that in triple threat offline if you want. If you're completely new to the mode, you can just triple threat offline your way to 15K, play the auction house for an hour, get your 40K and get it going. This guy is ridiculous. All right, I think that's gonna wrap it up for Rudy Gay, though. If I was just gonna give a summary, he's an elite mid-range shooter, an above-average post player. I would say the main thing for him with the post is this post fade here is really, really strong, particularly over shorter characters. But if you're doing conventional post stuff, I think his post hops are much better than his regular post fade. His regular post fade doesn't create a ton of space, as you see. He just kind of turns around. It's quick, so that's good. But I would definitely say the one going to the free throw line is the stronger of those moves. And if you wanted to, create space, you have to do his post hops, which are very good. So that gives him some options. He doesn't create a lot of distance with his step backs. So, at least with his step backs out of the post, I should say. His dribble step backs look pretty good. Yeah, and that Hall of Fame quick first step. The bottom line is this guy he's basically better shooting Jimmy Butler from an offensive standpoint. He's got Jimmy's the elite ball handles that Jimmy has. He also has very similar, in fact. So if you have Jimmy and you like the way that feels, then get this card and enjoy better shooting with. I can't say how he'll play defensively until I see him in game, but statistically. He's got a lot of great tools defensively. He does have the Hall of Fame clamps and the gold intimidator. What is Jimmy rocking with? I think Jimmy's on here. I was to compare directly. You on here, Jimmy? Jimmy's not on here. I'm not going to do a big side-by-side with him and Jimmy because there's no point, really. They're super similar cards. Rudy Gay is, offensively, he's just a slightly better version in a lot of ways. Maybe even more than slightly better because he has a legitimate mid-range. He's a legitimate, like, you can do all of your shot creator stuff. I'm not sure if he's bigger than Jimmy. Jimmy also has a big character model, but he might also be bigger than Jimmy. But similar to Jimmy, you're going to revolve your game around this step back right here. It's going to be super strong. You're going to be able to do all of your options out of your step back right there. You can just do whatever you want after doing that step back. You can shoot, you can dribble. You can just really do whatever you want. So if you look at my Jimmy Butler breakdown in terms of what you want out of the step back, like it's just really silly how this card is able to move around, behind screens and coming off on the perimeter and stuff like that. So that, and then doing that directly into the hop step is going to be super strong. But if the paint is not available, the important thing with this card is that he can immediately go into any of these really creative mid-range ideas, and you're going to complete those at a very, very high rate because of those super juiced mid-range ratings and that Hall of Fame difficult shots. He's going to really produce at a high level from that range. So he is a legitimate 3-level threat. He's going to hit you off the dribble, go into the basket. He can hit you in the mid-range if you drop down, and if you try to just hang out in the mid-range, he's going to Not only can he hit the 3 from a standstill, but he can also step back into that 3 with that wonderful step back move. He can just kind of hit you with that, go right up. He doesn't even need a snatch back because he creates adequate space doing that. But if he did want to snatch back, he also has this, the speed boosting dribbles to get him into the snatch back as well. So this guy, as my man Flea once said, he has every trick in the book and every lick in the book. I offer no criticisms for this card, particularly for the price that he runs. I consider him a fairly elite My Team card. His one flaw being he does not have the cancelable Pro 1, Pro 3 dribbles, but he does have quick first step and a great step back to make that not as painful. Alright, hope you guys enjoyed this deep dive. Those are the tools available to Rudy Gay. I will be covering all of the Galaxy Opal cards in this, except of course for, well, I should say of course, but probably not Paul George, because I don't know. You guys need a Paul George. If y'all need a Paul George, let me know. I'll figure out a way to get my hands on a Paul George. Paul's excellent, and his diamond was excellent. So if you played his diamond, he's that. But until the next one, please like and subscribe if you have not already. I really appreciate all the support for the channel, and I will see you covering the rest of the cards in this collection and others. All right. Good luck on your pack pulls and your snipes. Peace.